am a 21-year-old, just graduated Marist College, and I started design when I was in elementary school. So it's been like a very long time coming. And I just found myself wanting to do something sustainable, not really like the purpose of it was to do a scholarship when I was sophomore going to junior year for my classes. So we had to like sit down and like do something sustainable. And it so happened to be like right when COVID hit. So I had like this idea for the Shein thing starting at home. So I had like my home sewing machine and a lot of time, obviously, like we all had. And I just like wanted to do something with these bags that I had. So it really just started there, and then posting my initial TikTok like I'm trying to think when it was, probably a couple of years ago, and it didn't really blow up like how it did now, but it was about like 10,000 likes. So it like totally jumped out to like 12 million views. So like the graduation of seeing all the TikToks like that I posted. So if you look back, you could like see all my process. And I just thought it was like a really fun experience to just like upload all my work. And then after getting the momentum from all these postings and like people actually like realizing they like it, I decided to do it with my senior thesis. So that's really what started like the big boom. At the end of the year for design students, for seniors, we have a capstone project that we have to work on. So I could based on like anything that inspires you. So I just like continued the scholarships I worked on initially to my senior thesis. And it has to be a runway. So it's called like the Silver Needle Runway. And it's a really cool production. Everything's like up on Marist website. I don't know if you could check it out. But they do this insane show for all the design students. And mine walked. I had 4 looks going down. So I made everything out of the Shein bags that I got through TikTok basically, and a bunch of people at my school. So it was like totally like a community-based thing, which was awesome. And I just did techniques like dyeing the bags at a really low heat. So I boiled them with natural dyes and just like tried to change the color of them, and it ended up working, which was awesome. There was a bunch of like trial and error, but it worked out. And then stitching them into like so many different ways. You learned if you like iron them, it pleats totally perfect. Like it was awesome stuff. And it was such a learning process too, because no one has really done anything much like it. So totally like the bags ripped all the time. Like it turned into like a whole like patchwork thing, which ended up being really cool. But yeah, it's been such a journey. Now it's like totally viral. It's crazy. But yeah.
Well, awesome. Yeah. Congratulations. And what was your like motivation for using the bags in the first place?
In the first place, I was like, I just like sat, I had like a boatload of bags. Now I have like a million bags, but like I had a boatload of bags, like just for myself, like built up just because I never threw them out, or I never threw out my friends' bags. Just because I knew that they were like so durable. So that honestly was probably my motivation, like knowing how like good of a plastic it was, which is such a weird concept. But I just had them, and I just wanted to make a bag. I don't know. I just like sat down and just did it. I was bored. I was like painting my room at the same time. It was just like very crafty time period, but it was really, really cool. And then I ended up winning the fashion show. So it was a really cool moment.
Yeah, that's amazing. And like, how did it feel using a material that like people don't normally use?
Yeah, it was daunting at first. It was like totally like a work in progress because the bag I didn't think was going to do anything. It was just for myself, like the first tote bag. So it was totally new and like fun for me at then. And then when it became like a school project, like I'm getting graded on this, like people are waiting to see it, then it started to get a little like but then it became like a motivation to see like what could be done with the plastic, because like it is so cool. Like, and then I like thought like lifestyle wise it is so practical, even though it's plastic. Like waterproof things are all plastic, so like you have to think of it in that sense. So then it started becoming like an active thing. Bags are water, like I've made them bags are waterproof. Like I'm making hats now that are waterproof. I patched up some shoes to make them waterproof. Like I made it into like a very like lifestyle aspect of plastic.
How do you recommend that people take like look at the materials that they already have in their homes?
Yeah. Well, when I started explaining my project to other people, like we had like a judge panel and stuff like that. I always said that like sustainability, like the best way to do sustainability is like using materials that are like around us. So if you see something that like is such a waste in your life, or say like you have like mason jars, like so basic, or breaking up candles and reusing the candle wax, like simple things like that. And then as soon as you find like the passion, just like go with it. Like even if it is just for yourself, like you're gonna see yourself growing with that one initial idea. Like I would never think that I would make a vest out of like the bag that I made a tote bag. Like I think anything is really possible if you just like work around the mistake.
Yeah. So since no one's really used the material that you were using before, like, did you have to teach yourself?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I had to go through like the sewing machines at my school are industrial, so I couldn't even use those machines. I would like do something and it'd be totally so cool, and then the sewing machine would rip it in half because it's like the tracks on the feet of the sewing machine would just like shred the material. So I totally taught myself on what machine to use, or the right way to finish things, because like the techniques like or the technical ways to finish fabric, or like is like a ribbing or like a stitch work, something like finished, but with plastic. I just like teach myself how to finish it. So totally like teaching myself with everything. And then like looking at a lot of companies that do vests and companies that do jackets to see like the technical ways to do it. And it's always okay to like look back and get like fresh eyes on something.
Cool. So it requires some persistence.
Yeah. Like I think like once you get the hang of one thing, then it's like that much faster to do the next, just because you know how it works after a while.
So what kind of products have you made out of the Shein bag?
So for those like my concept, like for my senior thesis, I've made a bomber jacket, a vest, two types of skirts. One was long, one was short, and they're both pleated, so they were like tennis skirts and so much. I've also made like a rain pullover coat jacket thing. It's like very see-through. It's pink and it has like drawstrings on it. Very like versatile, like a bunch of stuff for that like collection they call it, like the senior thesis collection. But now and then each look that I've had, so I had 4 looks, had a bag with it. So I've made bags that I didn't like throw out any of the waste from any of the Shein bags. So I kept like the black zipper part of it, and basket weaved it into a crossbody. So there have been really, all the bags are completely different. Those are like my most fun that I've had making them, because I feel like they're so much more practical than like anything really else. So that's probably what I'm going to start selling, along with bucket hats. I'm starting to make bucket hats.
Cool.